a letter to Daddy. His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you and wish you were with us to love. Instead of a stamp I put kisses. The postman said that's best to do. I've written a letter to Daddy saying I love you.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 259. Whatever did happen to that baby what was named Jane? My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
How are you?
Oh, I'm just fantastic. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
Let's get into this. Whatever happened to baby Jane?
Yeah.
This is a movie.
This movie was stressful.
Shh, okay.
I thought it was stressful.
I mean, I did too, but in probably different ways.
Oh, no. All right, so I should say right off the bat that I think I get this movie confused with at least two other movies in my brain.
Would one of them happen to be Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte?
No, I've never seen that.
Alright, just curious. That was the follow-up to this.
Gotcha. No, I did not know there was a follow-up. I don't know how you do that, but okay.
More of was supposed to be a spiritual sequel.
Okay.
In which Betty Davis and Joan Crawford were to play different characters, but be just in a similar vein.
Gotcha. Like a Tommy Boy and then a Black Sheep.
Sure, that is a perfect analogy. I've never heard a better analogy. But Joan Crawford, quit 2 days into shooting. So,
gotcha.
But yes, it was the director and stars follow up to this movie.
Gotcha. No, the movies that I confused this with in my head.
Tommy Boy and Black Sheep?
Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, exactly. I played my hand too early, you figured it out. No, not Tommy Boy and Black Sheep. One of them is All About Eve.
Okay.
Which is another Betty Davis movie. And I think that's the only reason that I get them mixed up in my head is that Betty Davis is in both of them, and I don't know that I could tell you another Betty Davis movie off the top of my head.
I mean, they also similar title.
Yeah, ish, I guess.
I can see. I can absolutely see why you would get those two confused.
Yeah, I mean, title similarity is definitely the reason for the other one, which is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Both titles are questions, and therefore, in my mind, they are the same movie. Even though I've never seen that one either.
I've never seen that one either, and from what I know, it is not similar in any respect.
I know nothing about that movie, and I knew nothing about this going into it.
All right. Did you think we were watching one of the other two movies when you picked this one?
I think I thought we were watching All About Eve when I picked this one. But it's fine. I wanted to see this too.
Okay. All right. So I knew only the vaguest of ideas of what this movie was about.
Okay.
But it did, but I had never seen it. and going into this, like you just mentioned, the only other movie you can think of with Bette Davis is All About Eve. You one-upped me on that. The only thing I know about Bette Davis is she's got Bette Davis eyes.
I knew that as well about her.
And for some reason, when I was a kid, she was on a lot of talk shows, just being just a chain-smoking mum-ra.
Interesting.
Just a living corpse being interviewed by Phil Donahue constantly.
Okay, all right.
And then Joan Crawford, the only thing I know about her is that she does not prefer wire hangers.
I knew that about her as well. No wire hangers ever for her, as I understand it.
That, again, very strong preference.
Also, could not tell you another movie that Joan Crawford is in.
Yep, same. I did have to look up. So is Mommy Dearest about Joan Crawford, or does it star Joan Crawford? Turns out it's about.
Yeah, I thought for some reason that Faye Dunaway was Joan Crawford's daughter. But she's not.
No.
She just plays her in the movie.
Yes.
Have you seen Mommy Dearest?
I have not.
The actress who plays the adult version of the daughter is Diana Scarwood, who we know from Wonder Falls.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very, very young Diana Scarwood.
What happened to Baby Jane?
What did happen to Baby Jane? I'll tell you what, she was the worst from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And she just got worse as time went on.
Yep. So this movie starts in 1917, where she is a precocious little child talent.
Yeah.
A star with a song and dance show. And almost immediately it is revealed that she is just a massive bitch. And she is 8 years old. Actually, I have no idea how old she was supposed to be, but
yeah, I don't know how old she was supposed to be either. But yeah, she is just the absolute worst. As soon as she's not on stage.
The most unbelievable aspect of that scene is the crowd murmuring to themselves about how awful she is.
Right.
And we are sort of led to imply that this is the beginning of her downfall. When I think we fully know well that, again, even from last week's episode, that this would not stop anyone.
Yeah, I didn't see it as the beginning of her downfall. I saw it more as just a symptom of what's to come.
Oh, well, it's that for sure, but, she clearly, as the movie shows, is very quickly not a bankable star. And I think, part of it is, her style of performance, but also just because she is probably notoriously a horrible person.
Right. So we see that, and then it goes. Is it 1934?
35, I think, yes.
35 is when it jumps to. And yeah, that's when we learned that as an adult she is an unsuccessful actress because she is terrible.
Yeah. And meanwhile, her sister, who we get a glimpse of in the previous flashback, who is largely ignored and very dour, has actually become a huge movie star because she is. Apparently a very good actress and very amicable.
Actually talented.
Yes. But we also learn in the first flashback that her mother teaches her that, even when her sister is incredibly mean to her, that she should go out of her way to be nice. And that is actually sort of the setup for the 1935 stuff, where she, as a huge movie star, has written into her contract that Jane also has to, work in the movie studio as well.
Right. The studio system.
Yep. Not a flaw to it.
Nope. So yeah, then we see sorry, am I skipping stuff?
I don't think you are. No. Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna say, then we see a car crash.
Yes.
Someone unseen releases. Okay. So two people pull up in a car. One person gets out to open the gate for the driveway, and the other person releases the brake on the car and then hits the gas, and last minute swerves into like a pillar of bricks.
Yep.
And then someone runs away. Credits.
Yep. And then and we suspiciously do not see who was who.
Right.
And then it flash forwards to April 28th, 2021.
That's right. Happy birthday, Jenny.
Oh, was it her birthday yesterday?
It was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad this movie was set on her birthday.
Well, at least for a little bit of it was, yeah.
No, so it goes from 1935, and then after the credits, when we cut back, it goes to quote unquote yesterday.
Yeah, so that confused me right from the jump.
I mean, I knew what it meant, but it's not a great choice.
Well, so the thing that confused me was, I thought that, like, it was the yesterday before the car accident.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, so the rest of this movie is going to be, show us the circumstances
leading
of
up
what's,
to it. Okay.
Yeah, and like, we think we know what happened, but I bet we really don't, and that's what it's going to reveal. Nope, that's not what it was.
Nope. Yeah.
Way to confuse me from the top, movie.
Yeah, I mean, I see how you could see that for sure. But I got it because you got some critical thinking happening going on.
You're a smart guy and I'm dumb. I get it. I know that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't want to come right out and say it, but but no, yeah, it is meant to be, sometime in the year 1962, which is when this movie was made.
Right. Yeah, so then, majority of the rest of the movie is just about Jane, who has they've both grown older.
Yes.
But Jane has sort of gone round the bend.
She
would say
has lost her fucking mind.
She's cuckoo. She's cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, she is.
And she and Blanche, her sister, who is in a wheelchair.
Yes.
After an accident, presumably the one that we saw before. I don't know, though. I was confused again because I thought that came after.
How long did it take you?
It took me probably half an hour. And I was like, wait a minute. This has been multiple days that we've seen, so that can't be okay. So the reason that I was confused, in my defense, was I didn't recognize. I don't know if it was the gear shift on the car, or if because it's an old style car, so I'm not used to what they look like.
Right.
And I know that there are special cars that people in wheelchairs can drive.
Sure.
Where everything is just done by hand, and so for some reason in my head I was like, oh, is this one of those special cars? And then when I saw Blanche in the wheelchair, I was like, oh, I bet she was driving. That's going to be the big twist. And spoiler alert, it sort of was, but not the way that I thought it was. Yeah, this movie was a journey for me.
Wow.
But yeah, it's mostly about Jane being terrible to Blanche.
Yeah. And quite frankly, after about half an hour of it, I got it.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a lot.
This movie is like 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It should have been like 70.
It should have been tight just, hour and a half.
Just bare minimum to qualify as a feature-length film.
I don't think that we needed to see both the dead bird and the dead rat scenes.
Nope.
One of those is enough.
Yeah, I'd say bird, since, it was the one that was, actually emotionally affecting.
Yeah.
And the rat is just to fuck with us.
Yeah.
So Jane is essentially just abusive as fuck to Blanche. And I guess part of it is, just, rage at having to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she brings her meals, because she's also trapped Blanche upstairs.
Yes.
They live in a mansion, with no elevator. So Blanche is essentially just confined to her room because she can't go downstairs.
Yeah.
Which is shitty.
It is super shitty.
But she brings her up her lunch. Before that, we see a scene where Jane has voluntarily cleaned the bird cage for Blanche's bird. And then comes back with an empty cage and says, "Oh, the bird flew away." And then later she brings her lunch, and there's just a dead bird laying on a bunch of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Which, obviously upsets Blanche a lot.
Yeah. But also, classy presentation.
Sure.
Gotta give her credit for that.
I definitely do give her points for that.
She did the same with the rat later. It was just sitting on a bunch of tomatoes.
Yeah, it actually got me curious. It's like, what's with the tomatoes? I mean, I like tomatoes, but come on, a plate of tomatoes for lunch.
They have a couple tomato plants in the yard, so
But yeah, so then when Jane brings up her next meal, Blanche is hesitant to open the dish because she's presenting them in a covered dish. It is a Class A presentation all around.
Definitely, yeah. Very
silver
stylish.
Tray, silver platters, covered. It's great. One should only be so lucky to be treated that well. But she hesitates to uncover the dish, and then just backs away from it entirely. And the entire time I kept thinking, it's like, well, you only had the one bird.
Right.
What the fuck are you so afraid of?
I mean, who knows? It's the unknown, literally. That's what she's afraid of.
And then later, when Jane pulls the rat trick, which, like you said, is unnecessary.
Yeah.
She tells her pretty much flat out that, we have rats. And
yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
So yeah, keep an eye out for those. She's messing with her head.
Yeah.
It's physical and psychological abuse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't condone it.
No, that's good. I'm glad you don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I was concerned. I thought at some point you were going to be like, you know what? I'm on Jane's side. I'm with her on this one.
We haven't gotten to the end yet.
That's true. We haven't. Oh boy. So I have inadvertently picked a second movie about a faded star trying to recapture their fame.
Yeah. This one is, I mean, I guess with Sunset Boulevard, she was, pretty over the top. But I don't feel like she ever went as batty as Jane does in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. In Sunset Boulevard, Norma Desmond is just like a big personality.
Yeah.
Whereas Jane is just bonkers.
She is psychotic. And a murderer.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that?
She does some murders in this movie.
I mean, at least just the one that we know of.
At least one, and really close, questionably, to a second.
Yeah, it sure seemed like there was going to be a second one in there as well.
Yeah, possibly 3 even.
Wait, who's the third one?
Don't tell me you did not fear for poor little Victor Buono.
Oh, I guess I did.
Hey, Victor Buono's in this movie.
Yeah, King
Introducing.
Did you look up how old he is in this movie? Because I did.
I did, actually. He's like
an
23?
old looking. He's 24.
Okay.
He's an old looking fellow.
Yeah, I mean, I will say he looks much younger in this movie than he does 4 years later playing King Tut.
That's true. That is true.
Also, I don't know if just everyone he interacted with was just tiny, but he is a giant of a man.
He's very large. Just like he's very tall and he's very heavy.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I think he legitimately just dwarfs everyone.
And also, is he British?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because the accent kind of came and went throughout this movie.
Yeah.
And his mother is, I don't know if that actress is British or not, but she is doing an accent.
She's doing an accent hard.
Oh, yeah. So the character, might supposed to be British, but I didn't know if he was.
Yeah,
because he also has that kind of lilt when he plays King Tut as well.
Right, yeah. I think that's just him.
And I don't know if the listener gets this or not. We know him mostly as King Tut.
When you look him up on Wikipedia or on IMDb, it says he is known for playing King Tut on Batman, and also for being in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, for which he was nominated for an Oscar.
Yes, he was.
But primarily Batman.
His IMDb profile picture is of King Tut.
Yes.
Yep.
It's jarring.
And, rightly so, because he's great as King Tut.
He's, King Tut and the Bookworm are my two favorite Batman 66 villains. Of the ones that were original to the series. And
sure.
And it's entirely because of Roddy McDowall and Victor Buono in those roles.
I like Bookworm, but I still have to edge Egghead over Bookworm.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Egghead is spectacular.
That just may be my Vincent Price bias.
Sure.
And, I do love a Roddy McDowall. But, just of the two, I got to weigh Vincent a little higher.
Well, I think Bookworm, he's only in the 1-2-parter.
That is also true.
That may work against him, whereas we have a lot more exposure to Egghead.
Sure.
Anyway.
Remember when we weren't doing a podcast and we would just watch Batman 66 episodes?
That was so fun.
It was great.
We lived in the same state.
Yep.
Good times.
I was suicidally depressed, and it was the only thing getting me through.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad. And I'm sorry.
It's all right. Thanks, Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. This movie is a slog.
I didn't have... I didn't have any problem watching this movie. It held my attention really well. I think because Jane is so unhinged, and like it was because it's basically just like her continuing descent into lunacy, and that I found fascinating. And I thought Betty Davis was spectacular as Jane.
So, we sometimes have the game, Did You Fall Asleep in this movie? I fell asleep 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it was like a hard sleep.
Oh, man.
And after that, like, I had to rewind. And, like, it took me 3.5 hours to watch this 2-hour movie.
Oh, man.
Like, I just had to keep pausing and doing things because it was hard for me to get through it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That said, I can't say that I disliked it.
Okay.
Because, like you just said, Betty Davis in this movie is on fire.
Yeah.
Her performance is spectacular. Just like even like in her first scene, just the highs and lows that she would hit in just moments, like just a split second apart. Like her, like when the nosy neighbor, I think, like comes to talk to her, and she's just like, yeah. And like slams the door on her face. Like it's, I think in lesser hands would have just this entire role would be played at like 11.
Yeah.
But she knows when to notch it down, or hit like a nice middle ground,
right?
And then just go through the roof. And she is fascinating to watch in this movie.
Yeah, the first moment that she startled me, I think, was
the moment she came on screen.
Not the moment. Well, okay, yes,
because she is nightmarishly clownish.
She, if Cesar Romero hadn't been available, she was the second choice for the Joker on Batman 66. But no, the first moment that really just sort of like took me aback was when she calls to order more liquor, and then the first time that Jane imitates Blanche.
That is actually the second time she does that.
Is it the second time she does that?
Yeah, she imitates Blanche right in front of her face a couple scenes before that.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just like, wow.
Yep.
Like, I don't even really know what to say about that other than it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she is magnetic in all the worst ways in this movie. Because never once do you sympathize for her.
No, absolutely not.
She is just, as a child, she is horrible. And then as an adult, she is just crazy horrible.
Yeah. I get the feeling at the very end that you're supposed to feel bad for her, but I don't.
I think there's a couple times, like when she first meets Victor Buono's character, and when she goes to the newspaper to place an ad.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be like, oh, look how pathetic she is.
It is so sad.
Yeah, but we've seen her before those moments, and we know that there's nothing there to sympathize with.
Right. It's not sympathy so much as pity.
Right, yeah.
That I feel for her.
And we are also heavily led to believe that, of course, she is the one who caused the accident which crippled her sister.
Right.
Which, as you said earlier, is not the case.
Yeah, I still am not really sure how it happens. But yeah, apparently, spoilers for the movie from 1962. Blanche is the one who was driving the car, and had intended to hit Jane with it, but then changed her mind at the last minute.
Yep.
And when she hit the pillar of bricks, apparently snapped her spine.
Yep.
And Jane, I guess, did she have like a psychotic break and just take off?
Essentially. Yeah, she dodged it and went insane and left, and then just went on a horrendous bender.
Right.
Where they found her 3 days later in like a hotel room with a man she didn't recall ever meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is how Victor Buono's character was conceived.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a joke from the movie. She's not actually his mom.
No.
But that joke did make me laugh very hard. I also laughed uncomfortably when he was playing the song and then she like did the whole routine.
Yeah.
Along with it. Like it was terrifying and just uncomfortable.
I wish I could remember. There was a scene where I did just guffaw out loud, but I honestly cannot remember which it was. It may have been towards the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think I did laugh when Betty Davis starts dancing in front of the crowd of cops and beachgoers.
Yes. Another similarity to Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep. I think the lesson that we're learning is that old women in Hollywood are scary and dangerous.
Sure. Okay. Oh boy, Baby Jane.
Baby Jane.
The Baby Jane doll.
Yep. I did think. I mean, I guess it's hard not to talk about Betty Davis in this movie.
Yeah,
because it is such a scene-stealing role. But I'd say Joan Crawford is also very good in this.
Absolutely, yeah, she's excellent.
And I think even just knowing from the beginning of the movie, the difference in the characters' acting styles, and what drove Baby Jane to not be a hot commodity in Hollywood anymore. I think even in this movie, Joan Crawford is just playing it very low key and natural. And Jane is just so over the top, and so is Betty Davis.
Right. I think it's interesting. I would almost be interested to watch it again, knowing what Blanche reveals at the end.
Mm-hmm.
About how she caused the accident, and then she basically everything that she does, aside from self-preservation, but a lot of the things that she does in this movie are just driven by guilt,
right?
Which I don't think I really saw the first time through. Like, it makes a lot more sense in retrospect. Yeah. Why she continues to put up with the way that her sister is acting. And I know part of it is that she is physically trapped in this house.
Right.
But yeah, you would think that, she would have maybe done something sooner.
Right, right.
But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she had to get upstairs at some point somehow.
Right.
And what stopped her from doing that,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I watched it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I have seen this now, but, like I said, I can't say that I disliked it, but I also don't think I could actually recommend it to anyone.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like
it's definitely a piece of cinema history. And I think, I sort of knew going into this that Bette Davis and Joan Crawford had a feud.
Did you know because of the Ryan Murphy TV show Feud, Joan versus Betty?
No.
Yeah, there's like a whole TV show about it.
Alrighty.
I don't know how accurate any of it is, but I remembered that show existed probably about halfway through the movie.
Okay. I had never heard of it, but again, it was like a vague awareness that I don't think they liked each other that much, and I wonder if that plays into, audiences from 1962, reacting to this movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, because there's definitely a chemistry between them, and it is bad.
Yeah. Which works well for the movie.
Yeah, exactly, yes. It's spawned a whole lot of, sort of copycat movies. It is for some reason classified as a horror movie.
Okay.
I like horror. I didn't find anything in this movie scary other than, Bette Davis's makeup job.
Sure.
Which I am 99% convinced that that is what Dee Snider based his Twisted Sister makeup on.
All right. I can see that.
But, I think you even mentioned last week when we picked this that, somebody had told you it was a very scary movie.
Yeah.
What was it, your wife that told you that?
Yeah, Jenny said that this movie scared her.
Okay.
And I can, there are some shocks. It's more of like an existential terror, I think, in this movie than anything else.
I definitely felt stress, especially towards the end when we find that Jane has essentially strung Blanche up by her hands and is keeping her bound and gagged. That is not a situation I don't think I'd enjoy being in.
No, absolutely not.
And yeah, so part of that definitely affected me. But just other than the thought of having to just live powerless with an unhinged person, there's a dread there, but I definitely don't think I would call this scary.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Everybody has different definitions.
Yeah. There are definitely tense moments in the movie for sure. But man, I'd still go back. It should be 70 minutes long. I think Victor Buono is fine in this movie. I don't know that I would have nominated him for an Academy Award.
Yeah,
for his role. But also, his entire plotline could be taken out of this movie and not affect anything.
Definitely, yeah. I think there's stuff with the neighbors, too.
Oh, man.
That is ultimately pointless. I definitely thought they were going to play some sort of a role towards the end of the movie, and they just do not.
After the flashbacks, the first 5 minutes of, the modern-day portion of this movie is entirely the neighbor and her daughter.
Right.
And we never see the daughter again.
We see her at least one more time, just sitting outside brushing the dog.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, they're there primarily for exposition at that point.
Yeah.
Just to bring us up to speed.
But yeah, they could be cut for sure. Also, like the scene where Blanche is writing the note, which she types up, and then for some reason handwrites a lengthy addendum.
Look, she forgot.
And is, she's about to toss it out the window. The entire time, like, there's like music playing, and old man has to use the subtitles, so it just says loud pop music playing.
Yeah,
but like from where?
I had thought that she was playing that in her room to try and get the attention of the neighbor because her window was open.
Yeah.
It clearly did not work.
No, yeah, but like she also starts like yelling, but like they can't hear her because of the music. And anyway,
maybe she
some flaws.
Maybe she had to play the music loud so that when she yelled, Jane wouldn't hear her. But I don't know. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it was very entertaining.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, I think if it was shorter, I would have been much more engaged. I also kind of feel like just maybe it wasn't in the right mindset to watch it.
That's fair.
And that can definitely affect, anything. But like I said, like Bette Davis was captivating in it and all her insane glory.
Yeah.
And I definitely, by the end, while tired, I was still like, well, it wasn't bad.
Oh, that's the Eric Schonborn seal of approval.
It's as close as anything gets.
While tired, it still wasn't bad.
Well, while I was tired.
Right.
Yeah.
Is anything bringing you any degree of happiness this week?
Can I say 3 things?
Please do, because I have none for this week.
So last week I mentioned that I had been listening to the Blank Check podcast.
Yes.
And the series at the time that I was listening, they were going through the films of the Wachowski siblings. I listened to the Speed Racer episode, and I know that there's like when it came out, like people like kind of were down on it, and in recent years, it's definitely gotten a lot of people saying, "Hey, it's actually really good."
Yeah,
and just the combination of that was like, well, maybe I should give this a shot. And so last Sunday I watched Speed Racer, and that is a delightful goddamn movie.
Nice.
It's fun. John Goodman is just fucking great in it. And it's got kind of an emotional impact.
That's awesome.
Like I remember when it came out, and like I didn't like the rest of America did not much care for the Matrix sequels.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like anti-Wachowski or anything like that. It was just like I didn't give a fuck about Speed Racer.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why would I see a movie about this bad cartoon that I've seen 2 minutes of? And so that's the only reason I avoided it. But the movie is great.
Yeah, I have seen it, I think just one time. But it was, I remember really enjoying it, so maybe I will revisit this weekend as well.
All right. Second thing is, I started watching the television program called Lodge 49.
Oh, I've heard great things about that.
It is very good. It stars Wyatt Russell, recently driven off social media because of horrible Marvel Comics fans.
Oh, wait, are you
sorry.
serious?
I'm sorry, Marvel Cinematic Universe fans.
Was he really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yep.
God, people are the worst.
Yep. He portrayed John Walker, the replacement Captain America on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and people hated him so much that they drove him off social media.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That means he's a good actor, guys.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
And also, that character is supposed to be horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I love that character. I'm a big U.S. Agent fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is the star of Lodge 49. And if you've seen both shows, you can definitely tell how good of an actor he is, because he could not be playing the most opposite character. Just on Lodge 49, he is just this dim-witted, affable, lovable doofus. and he's great. And I cannot tell you what this show is about. It's like this. He's a bum who somehow manages to get membership in like a kind of like an Elks Lodge type place.
Okay.
It's called the Order of the Lynx.
Interesting.
And they have, there's, murmurings about like alchemy and conspiracies and stuff like that, and they have like a hierarchy of bullshit stuff. But it's mostly just a place where dudes hang out and drink.
Okay.
But like some of that like supernatural conspiracy stuff plays throughout the first season, at least, like in the background here and there. But it is mostly just about goofy characters. And then, like, in episode 8, like, Bruce Campbell shows up.
Okay, alright.
So,
Alright, well, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really, really like it. But, again, I don't know what this show is about. And then my third thing. Huh?
I was just going to say, I think in my head, Lodge 49 and the HBO show Room 104... take up similar space.
Okay, sure.
So whenever I hear
you have
about
a real problem with this, don't you?
you know what? Yeah, I honestly do. The way that my brain groups information is interesting, to say the least.
Well, to be fair, I have never heard of Room 104, so
It's an anthology show.
Okay.
And all of the episodes take place in this room of a motel.
Okay.
It's pretty entertaining.
Okay.
I mean, it's inconsistent because it's an anthology, but overall, It's pretty entertaining.
So it is not the John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson horror movie.
It is not. No.
Okay. All right.
That's 1408, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is, because I'm pretty sure I stayed in room 1408 somewhere once, and that was all I could think of.
Was it haunted?
As far as I know, it was not.
Okay.
I will warn you that Room 104, if you should be interested in checking it out, is by the Duplass brothers.
Oh, yep, I'm out.
Who I know you're not a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, you hadn't really sold me on it in the first place, but
I know.
Definitely out now.
Look, I'm tired.
I get it. And the third thing, real quick, is Barry Windsor-Smith has not produced a comic book in well over 20 years, and just this week released his graphic novel that he has been working on, I believe, since the 80s.
Wow.
Called Monsters. And it is 360 pages long, and I just got it today, and I am very, very excited.
That's awesome.
It was initially supposed to be an Incredible Hulk annual.
All right. All right. That'd be a long annual.
It is no longer that.
Well, that's
if
awesome.
I had to compare it to something, it's like how Frank Miller turned Holy Terror Batman into just Holy Terror.
Okay, sure.
With just as much finesse and subtlety as you'd expect.
I was going to say, I hope it's better than that.
So nothing for you.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
It's been a bad week.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah. Would you like me to pick a movie?
I would love for you to pick a movie.
So, Joe, do you remember a couple months ago?
No.
Okay. So, Joe, let me remind you of a couple of months ago. I picked a movie. And when I went to go watch it, it was no longer available. We had to come up with something on the spot.
I do remember that now.
That movie is back
Ooh.
on Amazon Prime again.
Ooh.
And I would like to make the attempt to repick it.
All right.
I did extensive research into finding out whether this would be taken off anytime soon. So as far as I know, we are good for a week.
Okay.
At least.
Speaking of that, I will apologize to the listener if you go and try to watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane on HBO Prime or HBO Plus. It is
Max.
gone.
HBO
Max. Whatever.
Yeah, no, it is gone as of tomorrow.
Yes.
It might be on like Canopy or Hoopla or something.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, continue.
So the movie that I am picking is a Robert Duvall, James Caan movie called The Killer Elite.
Okay.
It is available on Amazon Prime at this very moment. And hopefully within the next week.
Excellent. And I'm sure that's just a buddy comedy, right? That's what it sounds like.
No.
No. Oh boy. All right. What movie can I confuse this with between now and then?
Probably the 2005 Killer Elite.
Yes.
Which is not a remake, just has the exact same name.
Oh, that's weird. All right.
Yeah. So if Clive Owen and Robert De Niro show up, you are watching the wrong movie.
All right, good to know.
You are looking out for a James Caan and a Robert Duvall.
I will keep an eye open for both of them.
Okay, then.
All right, The Killer Elite.
Yes.
Next time.
Hopefully.
We'll see you then.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.